The TV1 News is proudly brought to you by
Hello, this is TV1 News. Thanks for joining us. In this edition, Alex Johnston is officially Chiefs number 2. Opposition critical about defense transaction. And political parties urge to support women candidates. Following yesterday's media outburst by the opposition leader James Nomane about a 20 million kina investment by the PNG Defense Council, Nomane continued his rant today, blatantly labeling this transaction as money laundering and against the reforms set by the Financial Action Task Force to get PNG out of grey listing at the earliest. Former Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and Deputy Opposition Leader Keith Iduhu were equally critical about this transaction.
They said the PNG Defence Force is not an investment vehicle and described the transaction as a waste of money that would have been invested in other critical defence infrastructure.
Why is the defence force of our country investing 20 million kina in a bank? To achieve what? When your own defense force is running around begging for uniforms, begging for guns, can't keep up the barracks in the country, can't pay the kitchen that feeds our army, yet you have the money to go and invest in the bank? What kind of madness is this?
Why are we begging for uniforms when this sort of money should be there to pay for uniforms? So we feel that it's just absolutely dubious, and it's a big question mark why they're moving this money to National Banking Corporation, which is a government-run bank with less stringent governance, and that opens it up for money laundering. So what the money's for, how they're going to hide the money, who's going to spend it, there's no requirements there. There's no control. BSP is more regulated by international and our contingent bank standards overseas than National Banking Corporation. So this is what we see. It's just clear, broad daylight money laundering.
The members of opposition said with PNG being grey listed, effort and resources should be diverted to getting PNG off this list, but instead the government is doing the opposite.
We won't pass any reviews by FATF. So is the government serious about us getting off the grey list or not?
Pushing us to blacklist.
That's well, they're going to push us to the blacklist.
So I think also there's grey listing. Why grey listing and blacklisting and all these sort of identities are very serious? You just look at the investment that is coming into the country. There's zero investment coming to the country. Nobody believes in Papua New Guinea, so they're not investing. So when you look at the investment coming into the ground, they said, why would I, if I'm an investor from foreign investor, why would I invest in a country that's on grey list and heading towards blacklist?
The opposition's concerns come in light of 2 letters that were leaked to the public space of the Defense Secretary and Minister directing the transfer of 20 million kina from the Defense Commercial Support Trust account with BSP to seed capital raise account with the new National Banking Corporation to buy shares there. Ruth Rungula, TV1 News.
Prime Minister James Marape, while welcoming public scrutiny surrounding the reported 20 million kina defense transaction, said he only became aware of the matter through what's being circulated through the public space. He has since directed the Chief Secretary Ivan Pomaleu to conduct a full review of this transaction and provide a comprehensive background information about this. Pending the outcome of this review, the Prime Minister has cautioned commentators against premature and misleading conclusions drawn without full facts.
Honourable members.
Responding to concerns raised by opposition leader James Nomane, the Prime Minister acknowledged that issues of this nature, whether raised by the opposition, public servants or citizens, play an important role in strengthening accountability across the government. However, Prime Minister Marape stressed that such concerns must be handled responsibly and verified through established legal and institutional mechanisms rather than being prematurely labelled as criminal conduct, saying he does not tolerate graft, corruption and illegal practices. The Prime Minister emphasized that initial information available to him does not indicate any criminal intent behind the transaction, but reaffirmed the importance of due diligence and said he will ensure that all processes are properly accounted for. The Prime Minister said this is his first time to hear about this transaction and has already directed the Chief Secretary to review this transaction. He further underscored that Papua New Guinea has well-established independent institutions like the Independent Commission Against Corruption, Ombudsman Commission and other relevant authorities to deal with suspected financial misconduct, and he will allow them to do their job. Prime Minister Marape further warned against politicizing sensitive matters before facts are fully established and stressed that leadership demands restraint, accuracy and respect for due process. He assured the country that no one is above the law and any wrongdoing, if established, will be dealt with firmly and in accordance with the law. The Prime Minister also highlighted the government's continued commitment to strengthening anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing systems and maintaining international standards of financial governance. Prime Minister Marape confirmed that a detailed public update will be provided once the review is complete. Ruth Rungula, TVWAN News.
The PNG Defence Management has defended its decision to invest the 20 million kina to buy shares at the new National Banking Corporation. Through a statement, Defence Secretary John Akipe and Chief of Defence Rear Admiral Philip Polewara said the money was invested as prescribed by the trust deed.
Following the circulation of the letters in the public domain yesterday and the outburst by the opposition leader James Nomane about this transaction, PNGDF Secretary John Akipe and the Chief of Defence Rear Admiral Philip Polewara in a joint statement said the transaction was done within the confines of the law. The PNGDF has an establishment called the Commercial Support Program established by the NEC in decision number NG71 of 2012, and the trust account for this program is managed by the Commercial Support Program Manager. Monies generated in defense are to be paid into this trust account. According to the statement, the trust deed for this account was approved by the Minister for Finance back in 2014 in accordance with Section 15 of the Public Finance Management Act. The account was frozen in 2020 by the then Finance Secretary upon instructions from the Secretary of Defense to protect and grow the revenues. The funds grew over the last 5 years from 1.2 million kina to over 25 million kina. They said these funds were generated from defense assets and from soldiers' rations and quotas. It was also stated that even though the trust did prescribe for the funds to be invested in commercial support activities, they were used on activities other than commercial investment and have now taken the opportunity to invest in the new National Banking Corporation at 60 toya per share. Ruth Rungula, TVWAN News.
Defense personnel from Papua New Guinea and partner nations worked together last month to deliver essential health services to remote communities in Central Province. From April the 20th to May the 1st, the PNG Defence Force, supported by Australia and New Zealand under the Defence Cooperation Programme, carried out a medical civil aid program. Under this program, the teams visited 7 remote villages, providing health, education, community engagement, and limited clinical services, while also delivering medical supplies to additional locations. The operation also strengthened medical skills and interoperability between partner defense forces. Political parties endorsing candidates for the 2027 national general elections are urged to adhere to the amendment of the Organic Law on the integrity of political parties, which calls for 10% of women's representation. Failure to do so may result in the deregistration of their party. This was highlighted during the opening of the 2026 Political Party Development Conference held today in Port Moresby.
Since 1975, PNG has produced only 10 women representatives in parliament, with only 3 now serving as parliamentary leaders. This has prompted the Office of Registry of Political Parties to push for the amendment of the Organic Law on integrity of political parties and candidates to involve more women representation in parliament. The amendment was enforced with the law passed on the 24th of March 2026. Political parties are now required under this law to endorse 10% of women representation in their party.
Political parties now in the 2027 elections will, from the total number of candidates that they will endorse, 10% of them must be women candidates. If a political party endorses 50 candidates, 5 must be women candidates, and that's compulsory. If they fail to endorse women candidates for 2 consecutive elections, it's a ground of deregistration. Political parties will be deregistered.
UNDP resident representative in PNG, Nicholas Booth, said women's representation in the country is very low, which clearly shows that democracy is failing. However, the amendment to the law is a significant start to revive the importance of democracy, which involves more representation of women in parliament.
The 50% of the country who are women are only represented by 3% of the MPs. That's always going to be a big failure and the blot on democracy. So I want to really salute the IPPCC for pushing forward this law. There are many other good things about this law. It's also going to strengthen the political parties.
Booth urged political parties to fully support the women they endorse to ensure they meet the requirements of having 10% of women representation in parliament.
Quota is essential, and it's a great start. Of course, now we've got to make sure every political party has got to obey the law. We must make sure that quota is observed in the next election. I don't want to wait for, parties to fail twice and then get deregistered in 12 years' time. We have
Registry of Political Party Registrar Pork clarifies that women have been struggling to adapt to the system of election in PNG. However, the PNG Electoral Commission Code of Conduct, which sets guidelines designed to ensure that national elections are conducted in a free, fair and safe manner, sets the pathway for these women to thrive come the 2027 election.
Code of conduct now comes in for political parties, the scrutineers, the campaign managers, the supporters and the voters to recognize the importance of women's political leadership in our country and, make the election environment conducive for women leaders to participate effectively in the election process.
Acting Electoral Commissioner Margaret Vagi urged women leaders to step out of their comfort zone and contest in the 2027 election, as this is their democratic right guaranteed by law.
Achievement by the IPPC registrar and his team on the amendment to the Organic Law on the political parties, that's a critical achievement, I'd say, for women to participate in elections come 2027.
Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
Acting Electoral Commissioner Margaret Vagi said there are about 7,326 wards throughout the country, and women are advised to register to vote and participate in the 2027 national general elections. This is to ensure women are equally represented in the election process.
Men that have not registered put their name on the electoral roll. They need to go to our respective electoral offices in the 22 provinces. We will be sending our teams out right to the ward level. So all the women out there, is ensure you go and register and make sure your name's on the roll to vote come 2027. So it's important that women participate in this democratic process to ensure that they elect their leaders. And very importantly, women leaders must be considered as part of the choices in voting. But more
You're watching TV1 News. When we come back, Warrior responds to cyclone and cameras to be installed around Lae.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, BSP's One-Took Wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at BSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Toks, to our family, to the ones we love. BSP's One-Took Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Grab a Coca-Cola and enjoy the moment.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Pine PNG made.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
Show the dishes who's boss. Fight mess with Axion, the tough grease stripper. 100% effective at doing the dirty work. The triple active power breaks down tough grease, and its antibacterial formula leaves dishes squeaky clean. Get tough on grease. Get Axion.
Central Province is our home.
The tides of the Coral Sea are our heartbeat. From the coast to the mountains.
Traditions pass generation to generation.
The sea and our gardens sustain us.
Our songs carry our legends through time.
Our home is Central Province. Our nation is Papua New Guinea.
Welcome back. When Cyclone Mila hit Milne Bay, many communities were unprepared. However, Warrior Village in the Ward 18 of Bwana Bwana local level government, Samarai Murua district, acted swiftly thanks to IOM for a training in disaster risk management approach, which prepared them well to respond. In 2018, Warrior Island received support from IOM, funded by the United States government, to strengthen the community's readiness for natural hazards. This included training for the Community Disaster Committee and awareness-raising activities across the island. According to the local ward member, Lynette John, this earlier investment played a critical role in keeping people safe when Cyclone Mila struck. When the cyclone hit, the community acted quickly and in an organized manner, drawing directly on the skills and plans developed during IOM facilitated community readiness sessions. Residents followed an agreed evacuation plan and moved together to a nearby church on higher ground, identified in advance as a safe evacuation site. Because people were ready, knew what to do, and understood where to go, the entire community reached safety before conditions worsened. This readiness helped protect lives during the most dangerous days of the cyclone. In the aftermath of the cyclone, the community is now calling for additional support to recover and to remain ready for future emergencies. Supported by the Natural Disaster Center, IOM's community-based disaster risk management approach works directly with communities to identify hazards, map risks, agree on safe evacuation sites, and develop simple, practical response plans. Following the Category 5 tropical cyclone Mila last month, plans are in place to improve communication as part of disaster preparedness in future. The National Weather Service will be hosting a workshop training next week on common alerting protocol. According to reports from locals in the affected islands of Milne Bay Province, cyclone warnings were not received on most of the outer islands.
Before the cyclone happens, we don't have any such communications that we could get information before the things happen. So we were just sitting down or fishing around, and suddenly just something comes out, it made us shocked. We think it's a normal wind, but it continues on. Yeah. So we have no information about it. We were just shocked by the cyclone.
Strong warning around our ward, affecting our ward for 14 days. Big trees falling down, coconuts falling down, some houses, five houses falling down.
And the Assistant Director of PNG Weather Service, Benjamin Malai, says the cyclone was detected 12 days before it was declared a tropical cyclone. However, it was in the Solomon Island waters at that time.
And we started issuing advisories. Advisories are just letting people know that there is a potential for some hazards. However, when we see that there is absolute certainty that it will be a tropical cyclone, we issue warning. Warning was issued about 48 hours before that. It was difficult for us. The way we send warning is we produce warning at National Weather Service. We disseminate that warning through the National Disaster Office, and then Disaster Office disseminate that information to the media, provincial administrators, everybody concerned. So there is no direct link between National Weather Service and the people out in the isolated areas of Papua New Guinea.
As part of the early warning system, National Weather Service will be hosting a workshop training next week on common alerting protocol.
This is a system where it is based on internet, but we try to connect all government agencies to National Disaster Weather Service, Geohazards, SEPA, where when there is potential for hazards or disaster, we will disseminate information through that system, and it reaches the provincial disaster headquarters, and then it's their business to disseminate that to their localities. So that we're having next week. We would want government agencies to attend that workshop.
According to the annual weather predictions, there is a high chance of another tropical cyclone in November of this year or up to April 2027. Assistant Director of PNG National Weather Service, Benjamin Malai, shared this, saying while the month of May is recorded to be the month of tropical cyclone, this will not happen this year, but might happen later in the year.
The record of a tropical cyclone occurring or developing in the month of May. However, that is not possible now. We will have to wait until 1st of November this year up to April next year. There will be higher chance of a tropical cyclone forming. But however, this season, 2025-2026 tropical cyclone season, it's already gone. From the way we monitor the atmosphere, all our surface winds have changed from the northwest direction to the southeast, in which no tropical cyclone will form during this time. Also, the sun has already crossed the equator up to the northern hemisphere, there will be not much energy in the ocean to form a tropical cyclone.
Plans are underway to install cameras around the urban areas of Lae City in Morbe Province. Lae MP John Rosso said this is just one of many initiatives aimed at creating a smarter, stronger and more connected Lae.
Lae has drastically changed from the days when there was no proper road in sight, when vacant public spaces had tall weeds and piles of rubbish, or when the city account had a negative balance despite a regular flow of income as tax or payment of municipal services. Since taking office in 2017, Lae City Authority Chairman and Lae Open MP John Rosso has driven a sustained program of transformative reform across Lae City. Paved street and city roads are slowly connecting individuals and businesses, while infrastructure is being rebuilt and city institutions strengthened. In close collaboration with all stakeholders, including the business community, public sector, civil society, and individuals, Lae will continue to develop. At the launch of the multi-service digital platform, ServiceLink, on the evening of Monday, May 4th, 2026, Rosso detailed that the city will soon be monitored through cameras.
The launch is the beginning of a continued journey towards a smarter, stronger, more connected Lae. We will be putting in cameras to the city on the urban areas or high built-up areas. In the next week or so, I will be sitting down with the Lord Mayor and the AHI President and the police command in Lae to start enforcement of city littering, city laws of people not cleaning the front of the houses, of people not cleaning the front of their businesses, of people chewing betel nut in the city, of people throwing and littering around the city, of loitering in the city. That will be rolled out in the next couple of weeks. I just need to build bigger and better premises to throw people behind bars. As I said, I don't want to be looking at being a popular person. I just want to do the right thing. And to do the right thing, sometimes you have to make decisions that are not gonna be popular with a few people.
The Lae MP is working towards his vision of restoring Lae to its former glory and has initiated family events like the Rosso Mountain Bike Race and Lae Fest, an annual Lae Arts and Culture Festival that aims to bring together the business community and the people of Lae and promote peace, unity, and good citizenship. Kamala Guare, TVWAN News, Lae.
And now the finance news. The kina closed lower at $0.2301 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2226 US, $0.3055 Australian dollars, $0.1821 euro, and 34.83 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, all closed higher, except crude oil closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's One Talk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's One Talk Wallet. PSP's One Talk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
And
further than hindsight, take me out my mind. Take me out my mind.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Grab a Coca-Cola and enjoy the moment.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
Kids in Papua New Guinea love to smile and spread joy. And when they smile, it lights up our world. Come on, Mom, it's you first. Do the 1, 2, 3. Wake up. Brush your teeth. Smile. Let's spread some smiles in PNG with Colgate.
You sabi tu awesome condom and one way where you can abrusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy? Tingim, use him condom long right way. Stop safe na look out him you yet. Use him condom all get a time. Suppose you no sabe long HIV status long partner blog you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use him condom good all get a time. Long haborusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use him condom banisim you yet na future blog you. This platok sabe ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
I'm a legend, I'm a legend, I'm a legend, I'm a legend. I'm always number one, never second. I'm always rising up all ascension.
This is where the league's best thrive. Where unforgettable moments linger. What a catch! And the magic of the game comes to life. This may lead the park back on its way out of here. This is where it's at. This is why I love this game. Major League Baseball all season on ESPN.
Thanks for staying with us. In news overseas, there's more cost of living pain on the way. The Reserve Bank has today hiked interest rates for the third time this year. The increase of 25 basis points brings the cash rate to 4.35%. As a guide, it means if you have an $800,000 mortgage, you'll be paying an extra $125 each month. With all three rate hikes since February combined, that's more than $360 to month out of pocket. The big four banks have been quick to move, all announcing they'll pass on the increase in full, and there could be more to come, with financial markets forecasting an additional hike in the months ahead.
The RBA Governor delivering the news many Australians were dreading.
Now, I understand this is a really difficult time for households who are already facing higher fuel prices and other cost of living pressures, but we must get on top of inflation now so that it doesn't get away from us.
But others don't see it the same way.
It's not good news for any homeowner or anyone with a mortgage.
If another rise comes up, we will be starting to struggle a bit, I think.
Michelle Bullock says there was really no choice but to lift interest rates.
People often say to me, you must have a better thing than the interest rate. We don't. It's all we have.
If lenders pass on the rate hike in full, homeowners with a $600,000 mortgage will see their minimum repayment rise by about $91 a month, which means they're now paying $272 more on their home loan since February. For a $1 million mortgage, monthly repayments will increase by $152, or $453 since the RBA began lifting rates this year. Kyle Lockwood's budget is already tight, and he spends more than half his income on mortgage repayments.
I think I'm going to get to a point where I'll probably start either renting out the spare room or just living off what little savings I have left.
The Treasurer says government spending is not to blame.
And the Australian economy is getting absolutely pummeled by this war in the Middle East, and Australians are paying the price for that.
With today's interest rate rise, the Reserve Bank has effectively erased the 3 interest rate cuts it announced last year. Unfortunately, for those paying off a big mortgage, there's a good chance there'll be more rate hikes to come.
But I do expect one more cash rate rise this year, and probably in August as well.
I think they're much more likely
to stay on hold, and if the economy is even worse than I'm expecting, then maybe you'll start to see rate cuts.
That would be ideal for borrowers like Kyle, but they're not banking on it.
The federal government will spend $74 million to set up a counter-terrorism online center to target online terrorists who try to radicalize young people. The center will be led by the AFP and ASIO and will be tasked with identifying and deterring online extremism, including on gaming platforms and in chat rooms. Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke says younger people are being targeted.
2024, we gave new powers to the Australian Federal Police. New offences were created in terms of the distribution online or possession online of radicalised material, of violent extremist material. In the time since those laws were put in place, the Australian Federal Police have put in 31 charges. Of those 31 charges, 19 are minors. 19 out of the 31 people who've been charged have been minors. This feature of young people being radicalised fast online is real, and the agencies, as is evident in those charges that have been brought to bear by the Australian Federal Police, have been acting on this. But establishing the centre is the next logical step in being able to make sure that our agencies can work together to be able to deal with a threat that is already there, that is continuing to emerge.
2 marine rescue volunteers are being praised as heroes after they died trying to help another vessel in distress on the New South Wales north coast. The skipper of the vessel died as well, while 4 other volunteers were injured in the treacherous operation.
The aftermath of a rescue mission gone wrong.
Last night was the darkest night in marine rescue history.
This rescue boat set off with 6 crew members on board after bystanders reported a yacht in distress.
It was extremely treacherous bar conditions at the time those marine rescue personnel went to sea.
2 of the volunteers, 78-year-old Bill Ewan and 62-year-old Frank Petch, died when their boat capsized in high swells on the Richmond River Bar.
I could still hear people shouting for help. When I realised it was a rescue boat that had also capsized, I phoned the emergency services again and I let them know straight away that this situation is so bad.
The yacht they were trying to reach broke up and sank. The body of its skipper was retrieved this morning.
It's heartbreaking news of epic proportions to lose volunteers.
The impact of what happened here is being felt beyond Ballina.
I want to pay tribute to their heroism, their sense of courage. I know the marine rescue fraternity will be devastated by the loss of lives.
We're all very much part of a New South Wales close family group. We all feel this.
While one of the volunteers was winched to safety, the ABC understands 3 of the injured were able to swim back to the breakwall, including one with a broken leg and ribs. The incident highlights the dangers of this bar crossing. For years, locals have called for it to be made safer.
The worst part about it, the last person in the marine rescue to die on this bar was my uncle, 1983.
Once the strong swells subside, it's hoped police divers will be able to start recovering evidence later this week.
The death of a newborn in Wagga has sparked calls for a renewed effort to take homelessness in New South Wales. The baby died on the weekend while her mother was giving birth at a homeless camp.
A community in mourning following the death of a newborn at a homeless camp on the banks of the Murrumbidgee River.
It's quite a tragedy and it's impacted the community greatly.
The mother and the baby's twin are being treated at hospital in Wagga Wagga. Advocates say the number of people sleeping rough is reaching crisis point.
There are not enough temporary housing, there's not enough emergency housing. For the most urgent in our community, there's a 4-year wait
There's real pressure at the moment in New South Wales. Last year, 68,000 people sought help from homelessness services. Rough sleeping has increased over the last 2 years by 32%.
The local council is calling on the state government to step up and take control.
So we need to get everyone in the same room and stop shoving it around and actually take responsibility for a whole of government response.
We welcome the opportunity to partner with them in proposing what we think are the kind of sensible solutions that we've been trying to get off the ground in that community.
Some of the people who live at the camp have told me that official offers of temporary shelter come with conditions they struggle to meet. They say they're forced to find accommodation they can't afford. It's
a completely tragic set of circumstances. Whilst this woman was known to us and had been provided accommodation in the past, she had disengaged from that. But as I said, we're 24 hours into a review. We're really looking at this from top to bottom.
A report on the newborn's death is being prepared for the coroner.
Australian author Craig Silvey has pleaded guilty to possessing and distributing child exploitation material. The 43-year-old, best known for his award-winning book, Jasper Jones, was charged at the start of the year after police raided his Fremantle home.
Just like his previous appearances at Fremantle Magistrates Court, Craig Silvey arrived alone with nothing to say. Inside, he pleaded guilty to a charge of possession of child exploitation material and a charge of distributing child exploitation material. The charges involve images. Silvey was one of Australia's most celebrated authors, but his reputation is now in ruins. His award-winning books were quickly removed from shop shelves after he was charged in January. WA's Education Minister ordered public schools to stop using his books as teaching texts. Silvey had also been charged with producing child exploitation material. However, that charge was dropped. The prosecution also discontinued a second possession charge. Silvey is scheduled to appear in the District Court in July, ahead of sentencing. Once lauded for his words, the author left court without any.
You're watching TV1 News. Later in sports, first Papua New Guinean signs with Chiefs and SP Awards finalists announced.
Meet UmiPay, your digital wallet from TISA Bank. Your gateway to seamless transactions. Withdraw cash anytime at your nearest TISA agent. Send money to family and friends anytime, anywhere. Top up and pay with just a scan. From taxis to coffee and small businesses, UmiPay makes every payment simple. UmiPay, powered by TISA Bank.
Life is about making memories, sharing new adventures. Go beyond the familiar. Don't let bacteria hold you back from experiencing the world. Protex uses natural antibacterial protection with flaxseed oil and eliminates 99.9% of bacteria. Free yourself. Go beyond with Protex.
Use Savetu Awesome Condom and Wambla way where you can abrusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy. Tingim, use him condom long right pla way. Stop safe na look out him you yet. Use him condom all get a time. Suppose you know save long HIV status long partner blog you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use him condom good all get a time. Long haborusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use him condom banisim you yet na future blog you. This pla talk save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Snacks Noodles. Tastier, but you like him more.
Trying to drag him back.
I'm a legend. I'm a legend. I'm a legend. I'm always number one, never second. I'm always rising up, all ascension.
This is where the league's best thrive. Where unforgettable moments linger. What a catch! And the magic of the game comes to life. This may lead the park. Back on its way out of here. This is where it's at.
This is why I love this game.
Major League Baseball all season on ESPN.
Welcome back. South Sydney Rabbitohs and Papua New Guinea Kumul flyer Alex Johnston has been confirmed as the Chiefs' second signing, with the deal announced in Port Moresby today. Johnston also becomes the first Papua New Guinean to sign up as the club builds towards its NRL entry in 2028.
The PNG Chiefs have continued their build towards the NRL with the signing of the game's most prolific try scorer Alex Johnston. Johnston's forthcoming arrival in 2028 marks another major statement of intent ahead of the club's inaugural campaign under coach Willie Peters. Johnston adds immediate firepower to the Chiefs' roster and signals the club's commitment to building a dynamic, attacking brand of football with a connection to its people. The Chiefs say on the field, Johnston is a game breaker, a record holder and a figure of pride amongst fans in both Australia and Papua New Guinea.
I was very excited, telling people, but no, I'm very happy to be, the second signing of the Chiefs and being the first, PNG heritage player to sign up. It's still, I'm still buzzing, mate, just to finally put pen to paper and. I can't wait to actually, get over there in 2028 and get to play with guys like Luai and build something massive and drive change over there. To have an actual NRL side that's, the PNG Chiefs, I can only imagine it will be that and more the experience that I had. So, I can't wait to, for everyone else to experience what I've experienced, that atmosphere, how crazy they are for the game and how much love that they have for the players. So, it's going to be a great time.
Off the field, his professionalism, humility and his connection to PNG align perfectly with the values the club is being built on: community, family and pride in representing Papua New Guinea and the Pacific. PNG Chiefs General Manager of Football Michael Chalmers says the signing is a special moment for the club.
This is a significant moment for PNG. It's a significant moment for boys and girls around the country who will see one of their own coming home to wear the Chiefs jersey in the first season, and we're really honoured to have him on board now.
Chief Executive Officer Lorna McPherson says the momentum building within the club is translating into elite recruitment outcomes.
We're bringing a player like Alex Johnston's calibre into the Chiefs. It's not just a club decision. It's something that the whole country can take pride in, because he's been one of our Kummels for a long, long time, and he's such an enjoyable person to watch in the field.
Johnston is set to play a key role in shaping the identity and success of the Chiefs and will join the team on a one-year deal.
We want to say thank you to South Sydney because he's contracted with the Bunnies for another year. They have given him permission to speak with us early. They know just how important he is to the future of the Chiefs and what he means to Papua New Guineans all around the country. So we appreciate Blake Solly and the South Sydney Rabbitohs for allowing us to negotiate with Alex.
The Chiefs thank the South Sydney Rabbitohs for their professionalism throughout this process and their willingness to allow Johnston the ability to explore his future at the Chiefs, despite being contracted with the club for another 18 months. Susan Oreape, TVWAN Sports.
Today, the official announcement of the 2026 SP Sports Awards finalists were made, including the reveal of this year's special guest speaker, a former Australian football legend.
In attendance were long-standing naming rights sponsor SP Brewery, partners, the PNG Olympic Committee and the PNG Sports Federation, and members of the media. Today's announcement marks 35th anniversary of the SP Awards, which was launched in 1992. This year's theme is Celebrating Diversity, Honoring Unity and Inspiring Dreams. Warwick Vele, chairman of the SP Sports Awards selection panel, provided a brief overview of the final vetting and selection process in his opening remarks, stressing transparency, integrity, and credibility in arriving at the 30 finalists. He said this year's field shows significant increase in nominations compared with last year's, reflecting growing awareness and confidence in the awards program.
Our selection panel comprises a wide variety of people from different backgrounds. We have people from sports administration, athlete development and governance. In our deliberations, we consider performance, results, sportsmanship, leadership, consistency and overall impact both on and off the field. Selecting the finalists is not easy, because there's a lot of, I spoke about the number of nominations that we received and the really high quality of those nominations. We looked at the achievements, the athletes, who broke records, the teams that we represented, had representative duties overseas, the teams and the individuals who competed domestically.
The chairman added, before officially announcing the finalists across 11 award categories, Vele reiterated the process was fair, open and transparent.
It gives me great pleasure to officially announce the finalists for the 2026 SP Sports Awards. I invite you to turn your attention to the screens as we reveal the shortlisted finalists across the 11 award categories. Finally, I want to extend my sincere gratitude to SP Brewery, the PNG Olympic Committee, the PNG Sports Foundation, and all sponsors and partners.
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
Former Australian Olympian and Socceroo captain Paul Wade will be the guest speaker at the 2026 Sports Awards. SP Brewery Corporate Affairs Manager John Nilkare had the honor of announcing and revealing the special guest. Paul Wade also sent a special message during today's announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived. The guest speaker for the 34th SP Sports Awards is Mr. Paul Wade. I invite you now to turn your attention to the screen for a special message from our guest speaker, Mr. Paul Wade.
G'day Papua New Guinea, my name's Paul Wade. I'm a former captain of the Australian men's football team, the Socceroos. Over 10 years I played 118 times, 84 of those were A internationals. I was part of the 90 and 94 World Cup qualifying campaigns. In 1988 I went to the Olympic Games in Seoul. In that same year I won the National Soccer League Player of the Year. So I am thrilled to be the guest speaker at the 34th SP Sports Awards.
K92 Mining has honoured SP PNG Hunters forward Sani Wabo after his standout performance against the Sunshine Coast Falcons in Port Moresby last Saturday. Wabo was named K92 Mining Man of the match and presented with a commemorative silver coin produced from silver mined at the company's Kainantu Gold Mine in Eastern Highlands Province. K92 CEO John Lewins said K92 was proud to support the SP PNG Hunters and to recognize players whose performance continued to inspire rugby league fans across Papua New Guinea. K92 Mining is a gold partner of the SP PNG Hunters and said it looked forward to continuing its support of the team. And that ends the sports segment. We'll now have the weather forecast.
Regional forecast: Southern, Port Moresby and Popondetta,
partly cloudy with brief showers and possible evening inland thunderstorms. Alotau, fine, partly cloudy night. Momase, Ley, cloudy with chances of evening heavy showers, rain and thunderstorms. Vanimo, partly cloudy with possible overnight rain drizzle. New Guinea Islands, Kokoporobao, cloudy with chances of evening heavy showers, rain, then cloudy overnight. Boka, becoming cloudy with evening showers, rain and thunderstorm. And Highlands region, Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy periods with heavy showers, rain and possible thunderstorms. Ocean forecast, Coral Sea, seas light to moderate with east to southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Solomon Sea, sea smooth to slight with east to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Bismarck Sea, sea slight to moderate with southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Pacific Ocean, sea smooth to slight with southeast to northwest winds of 5 to 15 knots. And coastal waters forecast, waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwa Island, Karamayul Island to Hood Point Samarai Island, and waters of Finchefan to Vitia Strait to Siasi Long Island to Medang. Sea 0.5 to 1.5 meters.
And that ends TV1 News. Thanks for watching. Good night.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by